just like not really wait on stage, but you know, not suicide on stage.
Right. Yeah. That's the biggest thing, and that's been a thing for like since like Smash 4, right? Too. Is that's a lot of players. I was like, okay, so we're playing this Ditto, and you jump off stage and you miss, and then I get on stage and I ledge trap you for 40%. Like who won out here in this situation?
Yeah, that's just how it be.
All right, let's get some games in. Let's see how this goes.
Okay. Which map should we go?
I usually just set it to random, but I don't know. Like the ring randomization seems like it's kind of finicky and or not actually random.
Yeah, I've noticed.
So I'm gonna put mine on Smashville because I like Smashville.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think mine is defaulted to that too.
Okay, yeah, we can swap around between the stages after that, after a couple games.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'm gonna try muting myself.
Oh, sure.
While we play, because I get kind of nervous. Like,
okay.
I'm gonna see if this works better.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well,
so
let's run that back.
Yeah. So before we do, here's a fun quick thing. So you went off stage twice. Both times it ended pretty poorly.
Yes.
I went off stage once and I didn't hit you, but it ended fairly well for me. Do you know why that is?
Because your feet were planted on the edge and mine were off.
So like my time I went off the stage, I actually didn't. I wasn't actually back on the stage, but after edgeguard you, but I was still in. I still put myself in an advantageous situation afterwards. I missed the edgeguard, but then I was still able to up B and set up like a ledge trap afterwards. So that's like an important thing to consider whenever you do want to go off stage is, can I make this a safe action when I do go off stage? Because sometimes where I can do that. Whereas like the times we went off stage, you either got back to the ledge way after me and then I got my chance to ledge trap you, or it was like a dangerous place to be trying to challenge.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. This time...
No SDs.
Wait, what?
No SDs this time.
Yeah. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go!
I feel like I did better in not going off stage.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a good, clean game. Getting around my ledge trapping was pretty solid. Your ledge trapping itself was okay. I never really felt threatened by it, but I never really punished you whenever I was at the ledge, which is like an improvement from last game. I'm curious about the up tilts out of shield. I'm assuming those are all attempted parry on the nair into up tilt?
Up tilt on shield.
So I nair your shield and you drop shield up tilt afterwards. I'm assuming all those are... Because you got the parry and the up tilt once.
Yeah. Some of them are short hop up airs. Because I thought you would have jumped like over me or like towards me upward.
Okay.
So I tried catching that. Then the parries, because I think I got like 2 parries that game, and one of them I thought about going for double edge dance, and I just played it safe and did tilt because I was getting punished for the double edge dance.
Right. Worth noting is that up tilt actually isn't super safe itself either. Have you seen the list of frame data that is out there? There's a big spreadsheet, and it's really, really cool because it has like all the information Kurigane Hammer has for all the characters, but it also has advantage on shield for a lot of stuff. So I'll drop that in the training grounds general. I'll probably drop that somewhere else in the Discord sometime later. Honestly, this is a really, really cool doc. The up tilt is actually really, really unsafe. I mean, it's safer than like the final hits of double edge dance, and like technically all double edge dance hits. But it's still something that's like it's negative 21, which means that if you hit my shield, even with sweet spot jab, I have time to drop shield and forward tilt myself and true punish it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep. So going off these few games that we played, I think that's so like your ledge presence is good. Your overall stage control is good. I think nailing down your punishes out of shield just a little bit harder, I think, would be the next step in improving your gameplay. Because there are a couple things I did too. Like at one point in time, like I up tilted it and you blocked it, and then you didn't punish it, which you definitely did.
Yeah. One thing I struggle with a lot, and I don't know why, is my reaction time. I think it's because like, I mean, this sounds kind of sad, but like sometimes when I land when I actually land a perfect shield, I'm like, holy crap, I did it, and then I'm kind of like in shock for like 2 frames, and it's a frame window, so it's like
yeah.
Like I've been trying to, just not have like that split second of like, hell yeah, now I can do something, and then
Right. Well, let me try something in game really quick before we start fighting again. I think there is trying to see exactly how this mechanic works compared to Smash 4. In Smash 4, you could do lots of stuff where like you option select a perfect shield actual punish, and if you do it right. Yeah, you can kind of do it. Like, if you want to go for like something simple, like a tilt, if you press it, like it has to be really fast. It has to be like the frame you're dropping shield. But if you press the attack, the frame you're dropping shield, then nothing comes out. But if you parry something during that window, then it should still get the buffer because you can act faster. And you should get the attack afterwards. So yeah, what you could do is just be like, just train yourself to always press the button automatically, even if you're just trying to parry.
Yeah.
And if you time it really fast, then the attack won't come out. If you didn't actually parry it.
I see. So it's kind of win-win because it's like,
exactly.
If it doesn't come out, then it doesn't come out, and if it happens to be a perfect shield, then you're good.
Yep, and that's the beauty of good option selects. There aren't many in Smash. Like this sort of stuff is like Street Fighter is all about this sort of stuff. Like finding option selects. Like, okay, well I'm gonna get up on wake up and I can do this and this. And I'm gonna do this to cover radically 2 different options that like on paper you wouldn't even think about at all.
Yeah.
Okay, we can actually practice that a little bit. I can narrate your shield and you can try to do the option select.
Okay. All right.
Here, so what I'll do is I'll run all the way to the end of the stage and then run at you in there. So you have a good time with one advantage. I'll do it. I wonder if the attack will actually come out.
Maybe you're... Oh, never mind. I think my shield might be a bit too small. My head's poking out.
Right, you can still parry whenever your shield is small, but you might not be able to block the first hit of the neutral line.
Okay.
You might want to run around a little bit to get your shield back up. Okay.
Alright, I'm just not getting it consistently now.
It's kind of tricky.
I really wish there was like an enhanced training mode.
Yeah, the thing I've been messing with lately is there was actually Arduinos people have put together that simulate advanced training mode stuff that's in like fighting games. So with those you can, it's a kind of a little fancy piece of tech and it's not, super cheap. But you can like plug it into the GameCube slot and then plug a controller into the Arduino and then do stuff like record inputs so you can record like right doing this. I actually just practiced that not long ago myself, is Crom falling forward air into jab and practicing the parry on the jab.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
so it definitely like the jab punish really works on pretty much any like unsafe.
You can get a lot more than jab. Like if you parry Crom jab, you can F smash him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like parrying it's very tasty. Like you can get if you do it perfectly, you can get a really big punish off of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I haven't been practicing parrying more like as much as I should be right now. But like I just don't really know how to practice because I saw one that was like, okay, yeah, the Falco lasers, but I was kind of skeptical because it's like, will this translate into actual with like a Stroody character?
It's a good way to get a feel for when the window is for your parry. And so then, you can just like adjust, okay, the attack is coming in now, so I know that I have this window to actually hit the parry. It's not as good as, being able to like record an input and say, have your opponent exactly do the thing you want to parry. But it is still good for getting used to actually parrying. I would recommend putting that into your training regime.
Okay, yeah, I'll pick that up again. I was just, lazy because I was like, this is really helping.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Okay, let's try this again.
Getting knocked back farther every single time. I forgot this isn't training mode.
Right. It'd be nice if we could do training mode online.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's Nintendo.
Yep. I don't think most fighting games have that, though, honestly. Okay, now the next step is actually to combo off of the jab. So whenever you hit the jab, I want you to hit me with something else afterwards.
Okay. Oops. Hi.
Shield grab is honestly a pretty good response to right Nair. Technically, if you do Nair like frame perfectly on the way down, then you can like spot dodge the shield grab. But a lot of Roys are going to be doing Roys like Nair is super deep and it's pretty high because that's like the best way to combo off of it. So yeah, if you ever think your opponent's going to like just Nair at you, just walk forward shield.
Okay.
But if they're like doing a cross up Nair, it becomes trickier to punish.
I think I'm jabbing too soon. Or I'm sorry, too late.
A little bit, yeah. If it's coming out after you're actually dropping shield, then you're pressing the jab button too late.
Is that because it's just getting buffered after a shield drop?
Yep. Okay, well, this is something you can practice on your own a little bit as well. You can set the CPUs to some other actions. Like I think F smash is one of them. So even just like practicing pairing F smashing and then like getting the option select out of that, which hopefully it still will work on that. Depending on how much shield stone is on it, that might be trickier. But in general, that might be a good thing just to practice. Like even if you're not trying to option select it, if you're just trying to react, just practice reacting to it. Would be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, parrying is really good. If you actually land the parry, you want to get the best punch you can. And you can do mean things to people if you properly parry. Alright, let's have some more games.
Okay.
Okay, that parry counter was sick though.
I was like, okay. Another thing I forgot to, I mean, not that I forgot, but I should mention is there like, I mean, there probably isn't, but like, I have trouble counting how many jumps I have. I know there's like a black smoke, but I mean, you can't really see that.
Yeah, it's just something you really, really have to internalize. One of the easiest ways to help with that is to... So, like, a lot of people will just, unconsciously respond by, oh, I'm getting hit by things, it's time to mash jump, and, as soon as I can, I'll be jumping around. That is a bad habit and a great way to not be sure if you've actually used your double jump or not. So consciously using your double jump, like waiting, even waiting just like a split second until after your hit's done to visually see, okay, I'm out of hit stun, I can do stuff now, I know I can jump now, I know I use it, therefore I'll know it's gone, is a great way to like keep a better handle of if you actually have your double jump or not.
Okay. Yeah, I've been really keeping note of that, because the first like month and even all of Smash 4, I was jumping out of combos, and I think either you or someone told me like hey, don't do that, and I was like, okay. So now I've just been not wasting double jumps, and instead of like when I get launched, instead of, I think I was watching VODs from one of your tournaments, and using the directional air dodge when you're like getting launched, and then using your jump is like really, really good.
Yep, yeah, it gets us a little bit of extra resistance, which is nice. Yeah, it does make it so you can't use your air dodge to the ledge. So some opponents will like be more aggressive off stage because of that. But yeah, it's a great way to get like a little bit more distance.
Right. And what was I gonna say? I think, probably just not using double jump.
Yep. It is an extremely important resource for Rai. His uppy's not bad, but it's not great.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
That was sick.
Thank you. So do you know why that edge guard worked?
I was getting juggled and I double jumped trying to land on stage.
Yep, because you didn't have your double jump. So you had no option except to up B to the ledge, and counter covers all of that. Are you
actually, yeah, just stock advantage.
Yes. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. I would have survived the counter if I didn't. So it's not a big deal. Are you familiar with the concept of A landing?
No.
Okay, so this is a trick in Smash 4. I'm trying to remember how you did play Smash 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I remember that correctly. So there's situations where you got hit by something, and you're in tumble, and you're tumbling down at the ground. And teching is generally bad. You want to avoid teching if at all possible. So there are situations where you'll be forced to tech, and situations where you put into tech situations. If possible, you want to avoid those, because those are situations where you can get F smashed and die, as what happened for stock. If you're still in hit stun when you're going towards the ground, you have no choice but to attack. You have to take it. If you're not in hit stun anymore, however, there are ways you can get out of the tumble animations that you don't actually have to tech. If you air dodge, then you'll generally still tech if you're super close to the ground, and you have landing lag anyways, so you don't necessarily want to do that. What you can do instead is just before you hit the ground, you can do an aerial, and as an example, teching in place has just to numerically show how much better this is. Teching in place has 30 or 40 frames of lag, if I recall correctly. And on the other hand, up air has 8.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so if you if you're in those situations where especially if you don't want to double jump or you don't have your double jump anymore and you have to land, and you're not in hit stun anymore, there's no reason not to just use up air.
So that's when you're not in tumble or hit stun.
You're not in, so there's the hit when you're actually in hit stun and you can't do anything. When you get hit, you sent away. If you just keep falling afterwards, a character is spinning and they're in the tumble animation. So you can't just land on your feet from there because your character doesn't have their feet underneath them.
Oh yeah.
You'll hit the ground and be forced to tech. But you can up air whenever you're not in hit stun anymore and you're still in tumble. So that's a great way to. That's what they call A landing in Smash 4. Technically, A landing is a little bit fancier. It's using the startup auto cancel window of an aerial, so that you have literally no lag at all whenever you land. But it's still extremely useful just to use an aerial. The landing lag you get is severely reduced compared to teching in place or teching it to the side.
Okay.
And I can show you some examples of that. And if you're rewatching this later on, you can watch the first stock of this game that we just played. You would have lived if you had done up air and A landed instead of taking in place.
Is the point of the up air I know it's to have the fastest, safest landing option, but could you actually use that to knock your opponent away too from the hitbox?
You potentially could, but generally in situations where you're trying to use it to just land safely, your objective should be to land safely. That's most of the purpose of it.
So my best bet is, if I'm in that scenario where I'm getting sharped and I want to try and A land, I would want to land as far away from them as possible. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Not try and go towards them and be A land.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a way to escape your opponent. It's not an aggressive option.
Okay. Shall we Smash Ball again?
Actually, we should probably switch stages.
Okay.
As much as I love Smash Ball.
Yeah, honestly, even for Inkling, the F smash is on the head. Insane.
Yep.
Sometimes I feel bad, how early just go off the edge.
God, yeah, I've killed Charizard with side B at 65% on that stage.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's gross. in all the right ways. Let's go Battlefield.
Okay.
So in that first stock alone from that game, there were like 2 or 3 situations where you could have A-landed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed those yourself, but point them out.
Yes. When I'm okay, is there? You said there was a specific window.
It's a relatively tight window because you want to like, like actually inputting the up air isn't very difficult. Because you you just have to have the up air come out. So really the window isn't like really tight if you don't want to be fancy with it. If you delay it a little bit, you can trick some opponents because the longer you delay the up air, the more it looks like you're going to tech, which means that your opponent is going to be trying to cover your tech instead of combating you while you're just on the ground with your feet like solid on the ground. But you can just you can do it as early as you want if your objective is just to land safely.
Okay.
Now the true battle begins.
Okay, so let's look at a little bit more frame data. One of the things I'll do actually for your document today is I'll write down the speed at which all the various options out of shield actually come out at. It's a really important thing to know. And you probably have like a decent idea of it, but learning how to actually apply it, like seeing the numbers on paper, will be helpful to see like what you can actually punish with what. I said like up tilt's really punishable. It's like -21. Down tilt, on the other hand, is actually one of the safest grounded normals in the entire game. If Roy down tilts for someone's shield and it sweet spots, he is at -4. That means that there is literally nothing anyone can do to punish it. Like it's actually impossible to punish. Like it's possible for you to hit Roy afterwards, like if he misplays, if he does something like if he makes a bad idea and like tries to push his advantage too far and like you call that out. But in general, if Roy down tilts to your shield, he is in a very advantaged state. Against learning how to respond against that state is actually really important. So if you try to do something
One second, sorry.
Sure, no problem.
Sorry. Sorry, my grandpa.
No problem, no problem. Oh yeah, so talking about down tilt. So even like Roy's fastest out of shield options are, I think it's a tie between the up B and neutral air out of shield.
Up B and neutral. Oh, okay.
Those options all take 9 frames to come out. So Roy still has a full 5 frames after down tilt. Where Roy 1 and Roy 2. Roy 1 down tilts Roy 2. Roy 2 does nair out of shield or up B out of shield. Roy 1, if he jabs, he still hits them before their option comes out. Because he has 5 frames where he can do something before the 9 frame response actually comes out. So recognizing those situations when you're like, okay, like it's not my turn, I have to hold this even though he hit my shield with something is really, really important. And learning what you can do instead. There are other defensive options that you can do that aren't immediately attacking. You can, if you're sure that they're going to actually press a button afterwards. So if a lot of times people would do like down tilt onto shield into jab or like down tilt into shield into side B.
Yeah.
The options you have to get around that, you can roll behind them because there is a gap between the down tilt and the next hit. It's kind of scary because you're rolling behind them after they down tilt, so they could potentially punish if they wait. You can time your shield drop to parry their next attack, which is super ballsy and will get you a big punish, but can sometimes have bad things happen. Or you can jump. Jumping out of shield, well, technically there are 4 options, because you can keep shielding too and just see if they do something less safe. But jumping out of shield is a really fast option. It only takes 3 frames to get out of shield with jump, and full hopping is really, really difficult to catch. And a lot of situations, like the meta for the longest time, and still kind of now, honestly, is if someone gets hit by a move or they're not sure if they can punish it, if they just want to escape the situation, they'll just full hop out of shield. And there's a reason why. It's really good, really fast. The speed at which, because the active character moves so fast, so quickly from the ground to their max full hop height, makes it so it's really difficult to intercept. That you basically have to be putting a hitbox out at that full hop height, which means they need to be calling it out.
I see.
So recognizing those is really important.
So like a lot of things, it's situational, and there's an optimal wave.
A lot of times there's an optimal response. Yeah. So if you look through all the different advantages on numbers, and this is what I'm going to be pushing for you to do for your homework after we finish today's session. You want to get a general idea of what everything is on shield, so you know what generally your response to it should be. So Roy F tilt is on sweet spot. It's actually pretty safe. It's minus 13 on shield. That means that if your opponent is in shield grab range, be at a shield range, nair out of shield range, all those will truly punish it. If they're not inside that range and you have to drop shield, then you won't actually get a true punish.
Oh, okay.
Whereas up tilt is minus 21. That means that even if they're outside of shield grab or up B out of shield or nair out of shield range, you still have the 11 frames to drop shield and a whole nother 10 frames that you can punish them. Getting that general idea, really, really important. And just finding what moves come out at certain speeds. So you tried to do drop shield down smash against my down tilt pressure at one point in time, which isn't a bad idea. Drop shield down smash is actually really, really fast for a smash response because of the fact that down smash hits on frame 6. That's only 1 frame slower than jab. So there are lots of things that so if I up tilt your shield and I get the sweet spot, you don't have time to drop shield F smash, but you do have time to drop shield down smash because down smash is significantly faster.
I see.
So yeah, it'll take a little bit of studying. It's not something that you can sort of get a feel for it if you want to, but this being able to look through and look at the numbers is a good way to confirm that yes, I can punish this with this. It is possible. Whereas if you want to go through and just play it by ear, oh well, I think I can punish this with this, or sometimes this works. The numbers never lie. Consistency is delicious.
It's
okay.
So with all these little components, once you once I practice them, and even just the small details implement this has a 2 or 3 frame advantage over this move, so I should do this because he's arching this way and it would reach him more, blah blah blah. After this all kind of melts in, after I don't know, 6 months, maybe a year, then it'll all come together, and I'll start playing just safer, right? Like
Yep.
safer and more optimal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I think that's something that's kind of like holding me back. I think because I look at VODs of these tournament sets of whether it's you or someone I don't main. Like sometimes I just watch Tweak and okay, I'm gonna soak this in, and I don't. So I guess just like it's a very gradual process, and there's so many like micro everything going on that just builds up to one big like pro player, I guess.
Yes, yeah, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Like a lot of people are just like, oh, well, look at Tweak, and he just like nares at people and they die. And it's not that simple. It is extremely complicated. Like knowing when he can nair, knowing what he can punish with nair, and knowing like when combo, like, and that's just nair alone. Like, Smash is a very complicated game. It's very, very nuanced. It's actually kind of tricky to teach people sometimes, because in games like Street Fighter, you can just like, oh, well, you just do this, this, you punish this move with this, you do this thing, and then you did this to kill them. And it's much harder in Smash. There's a lot more that goes into it.
Okay, well, that's good to know. But there have been times where I'm like, wow, I'm really good against this person, or against, I'm doing good today. And then there are times where it's like, wow, I suck.
Oh, so, yeah. I mean, every player has ups and downs. Like, even like pro level players, there's a reason why like this game is hard to be consistent in, and games in general are pretty hard to be consistent in. There will be days where where you don't play like up to your top potential, and then there will be days where you play fucking on fire, and you're like, holy shit, I'm the best player in the entire universe. How could anyone ever stop me? And it's just the end goal is to harness as much of that like godliness as possible, and like try to keep your play up to that sort of par. And it's never going to be perfect, but they're like through mentality and like through practice and having good game plans, you can keep it higher than average.
Okay, sounds good.
Ready? Three, two, one, go!
That was a good game.
It was. I like that.
Yeah, so that game actually has some interesting things to go back and look back on, like examples of some of the stuff I'm talking about. You may have noticed, like, Stock 2, you hit me with Double Edge Dance, like you did the downstabs variation, and then I DI'd up, and then up air landed right afterwards. And then that puts me in a situation where, like, rather than, like, oh, I had to tech, and, like, I'm in a position where I have to weave around to, like, play defense, instead I literally just barreled straight in after you and, like, threw out neutral airs. So, like, and I don't think I won the situation, but it was still a situation where I could, like, instead of playing defense, I could, like, swap to offense. And another interesting thing to note, there was a situation there on our last stock where, like, both of us were in shield next to each other, and it's, like, kind of like, you know, in a Gunsmoke situation where we're like, okay, which one's going to do something first? And then you drop shield up tilted, and then I just up B directly out of shield. And my up B won because it comes out much faster.
Yeah, I that stuck out to me too, because I was like, oh my gosh, we were in the same situation, and we both had like an equal chance of being in an advantage, and I chose the unsafe option, and it kind of like went into perspective. Like I could have potentially won that. You know, it was anyone's game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, bad habits.
Yeah, it'll take some time to, and that's another thing that you can practice in training mode, like because of the fact that like different characters have different like F smashes that are advantageous on shield or less advantageous than shield, or like push you farther away or less far away. You can like literally just practice up being on a shield against them, like isn't a bad idea. And it won't feel exactly the same because generally you want to use up B out of shield versus things that aren't like kind of punishable, but yeah, it's a good thing to get in the habit of. It's a really good move, really fast out of shield option.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're taking notes, aren't you?
I am. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. All right. I don't need to write it down.
Yeah. I'll shoot this to you after the lesson is over, per usual.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, second game was sloppy.
Yeah, a little bit, but Okay. Another thing we can talk about, punish game in general. I see you've been going for some of the jab bears, but you haven't actually landed them yet. You can practice them more. They need to be second nature. Another really big thing, up air is fucking broken. Like, it's like that first stock, I put you to like 90% by doing literally nothing but up air and then a jab back air at the end of it. Like, it is unreasonably good. And one of the reasons why it's unreasonably good, we'll play a fun game for this. We'll see how safe you think up air is on shield. So as a reference, right forward air on shield is -4, right down air on shield is -9. What do you think up air is?
Would it go higher if it's better? Like minus?
Higher minus means that it's more negative. That means that there's more time for your opponent to do things. So lower is better.
So I want to say -4?
It's -4. It is the same as forward air. If Roy falling forward airs on somebody's shield, like, he's actually in an advantageous situation. Like there's a situation in there where, like, I dropped a falling up air on your shield, and you tried to like drop shield and do stuff, and I just hit you. Like, there's just not enough. There's just not enough time for you to like drop shield and actually do anything afterwards, unless your opponent is doing like an extremely fast out of shield option. There's nothing they can do to stop Roy from doing something else afterwards. And even then, they have to be, like, calling him doing something else afterwards. So, like, there's a situation where, like, if you falling up air on my shield, I could up B to, like, beat your jab or beat your second aerial or whatever. But my up B gets beat clean by you doing falling up air into shield. So it's still, like, it's still a mix-up. It's not a true punish. It's still, like, I'd have to call out you doing something afterwards. Move is extremely safe. It combos for days. Like... And this is something I've been discovering myself more recently. Like, I was like, oh man, like, Crom up air is so good, I'm kind of jealous. Like, if he falling up air somebody at 0%, he gets 3 up airs. Actually, if Roy gets falling up air on somebody at 0%, he also gets 3 up airs, because he can do falling up air, short hop, and then delay the second up air, so that he has time to land again and chase them afterwards for the third up air. Sometimes even 4. Like, the move is insanely good.
Good to know.
So, you should use it more.
Yeah.
And it'll take some practice. Like, it's like it takes some practice, like, actually getting the second up air after, like, the first falling up air at 0%. But man, like, as you saw, like, whenever you actually land the strings, especially on stages like Battlefield, like, you string them for days.
Oh yeah. Especially the top platform is just scary.
Yeah.
I keep asking you. I keep forgetting. For the jab to bear, you said you use C-stick, right?
Yes, I use C-stick and I use attack canceling personally.
Oh, okay. Because I was using C-stick for like 2 months, and then recently I've just been using I don't know what it's called. I don't know the technical term, but solely just like running and then reversing my, turning around and then back airing. Like, I don't use C-stick at all. I like run backward.
Oh, so you use the reverse arrow rush, is, I believe, the thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's totally cool. Yeah, if you're comfortable doing it that method, then absolutely go ahead and do it. Personally, I find that one a little bit less consistent, but I've also had other people say that they think it's super fine. So do whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as you can practice it and get it down consistently. Like, use whatever method you want. It's totally fine.
Okay. Yeah. I was just wondering because I have been trying to do them the past like 30 minutes, and I end up inputting down air, and I did not have that problem with the C-stick. So
right, yeah.
I guess I just have to experiment with that, but I'm sure there's a way for everyone, because there's like, you can attack cancel, and you can C-stick, and then you can reverse arrow rush.
Yeah. Lots of different ways to do it. And some people like set a button for jump even with just like the reverse arrow rush. Because so if you have a button set to jump, you can dash forward, press away, press jump button, and keep holding away. Like, you don't even need to press the directional stick back towards your opponent, because if you buffer the C-stick input for your short hop, then it buffers that direction of movement.
Oh, I see.
So that's like a little bit less tricky than like manually reverse arrow rushing and then doing the aerial while drifting towards your opponent manually.
Yeah.
Honestly, I need to like make a video. Like all the different methods. Like this is like the question I get asked most consistently. Like, how do you do jab back airs? I was like, well, there's lots of different ways. You just gotta grind it out.
Yeah. Should that wrap it up?
Any last closing questions you got? Any other things you want to talk about? Any issues?
I have been experimenting with gosh, what's it called? The reverse neutral B.
Yeah, I saw you tried to do it off stage. One of the games. It was kind of cute.
Yeah. So I have noticed that it's like a noob killer because I use it against my friends and they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they'll have no idea what that even is. Like, what happened? Like, you neutral beam, like, and then you came at me. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, so I was wondering if that's like only noob killer or if there's like very, very, very like situational. Like,
there are niche uses for it. It's actually something Lunchables did to me recently. Was he he knocked me off stage and then I'm recovering kind of high, and then he full hopped at me and then B reverses neutral B back onto the stage.
Oh, nice.
And then use that as position. And he definitely like there was one time where he did that and he baited me into air dodging and then turned around and then just released the neutral B on my face after I landed from the air dodge. So there are applications for it. It's more niche. I feel like side B reverses are a little bit easier to utilize just because they have less ending lag, so they're better for shifting your momentum in the air. But B reverse and double B reverse neutral B shenanigans are definitely a thing.
Okay. So I should not drop it completely, but use it very, very.
Yeah, I'd recommend tinkering with it still. It's not a complete game changer, but it's a fun little trick. You can catch people off guard.
Yeah.
If you use the same trick, if you use that trick against one person consistently, I'm sure they'll start catching on. So you got to be a little bit careful with how you apply it. But yeah, I can definitely mess with it. It's fun. It's cool. It's effective.
Okay. Yeah. So I notice it kind of helps when, because obviously recovering from the lowest point possible is super safe in this game. So I've noticed that against my friends, I'll kind of call them out on it, and then I'll do that B reverse, and it kind of scales the bottom corner.
Right. So
I guess it could be used as a mix up, right? Kind of pressure your opponent. Okay, maybe. Maybe he's covering this option too.
yeah. It's a way to kind of get down at that spot. And actually, in general, has a hard time covering that position of just below the ledge itself because he can't really. It's hard for him to put a forward air there, and his down air isn't very good. So using the B reverse to hit that spot isn't a bad idea. Another thing that's a similar idea to cover that area, I think that Spark has been doing recently, is similar to what I just mentioned with full Lunchables, jumping off and B reversing neutral B back on stage, is jumping a little bit further off stage with full hop and B reversing side B. And if you space it properly, that puts Roy literally right at that spot where he usually has a hard time covering. And from there he can do double jump back air, or just falling back air, or just if he's not feeling the situation, then he can just double jump or air dodge back up to the stage or the ledge to dip and disengage from the potentially bad edge guard situation. And I've actually killed people with that myself, just messing with it a little bit, just literally just goaltending them with back air over the ledge.
Yeah.
So yes, that sort of idea of using B reverses to get down into that position, I think it's a really good one.
Okay. For B reversing side B, do you have to kind of roll your control stick?
I usually just do a straight input, so I'll do I'll be holding the control stick one way, press B, and then just immediately flick it from that direction to the opposite direction.
Okay, because it hasn't been very. I haven't been good at it, so I was wondering if I was doing.
It's a relatively simple input. The one interesting thing to note is that it does. It doesn't just give you a lot of momentum in the direction you're doing it. What it does is it reverses your momentum. So if you don't have any forward momentum, then it doesn't really send you anywhere.
Okay, so it would mostly
You want
You
want to be moving fast in one direction before you start the B reverse to get maximum effect out of it.
Okay, that will be something I should probably do after class today. The thing that sucks is that I I really want to just go to training room right after this.
Yeah.
But I have to like run to my next class in like probably 40 minutes.
Gotcha. Yeah, a little bit of time to practice, but not much.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I should probably let you go then. I'll finish writing up this stuff for the doc, give you a nice spreadsheet of the out-of-shield options Roy has and how fast they are. Give you a better idea of what to actually look for when you're looking at this frame data. And that sounds like it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Alrighty then.
I will, I'll check if... How long does it usually take? Like, for the docs? Not to rush you at all.
I'll probably have it up, so I'll start working on it as soon as we're done with the Discord chat, so I can probably get it to you within like 10-15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, awesome. I was wondering if I could, like, have them in my class, like, because I have breaks in between my classes.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I'll definitely have it to you by the time you're in your class. So.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you so much again.
Absolutely, yeah. Also, as a reminder, I don't think you sent me a VOD to do flow feedback review over for the last time we did the lesson.
Oh, that's right.
So you have 2 now. So keep an eye out for sets 2. Even if it's just like saving replays, if you can get them online somehow.
Okay.
I'm definitely down to go over anything.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I completely forgot. I haven't had too many good VODs, but I'm sure I have one that I can send because like I said last session, like I save VODs or I save replays of myself getting bodied a lot.
Good.
So
yeah, those are good matches to go over. Yeah, like to see exactly what you're doing. It's really painful going over them, but it's really helpful.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
All right, yeah, just send me a message whenever you have those VODs you want to go over, and I'll get this doc to you in a little bit.
Okie doke.
All right, take it easy, man.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
I will see you later.